Hello, my friends. I'm going to show you how to install Python platform on your PC as quickly as possible and also as simple as possible. So there are multiple so-called distribution that you can install Python. Uh, I choose a distribution called Anaconda, which is a platform where they package everything, most of the standard library in Python. So it's one of the platform that a lot of people use, and I highly recommend it. So the way to do it is you go to the website anaconda.com and you go to the product area, and there are multiple editions, and you want to choose the individual editions. And then you can download the installer, and they provide installer for Windows, Mac, and also even Linux. And this version is free, so which is wonderful. The latest version is Python 3.8, and most of the computer now is 64-bit. So unless you have a really old PC, Windows that is 32-bit, otherwise choose the 64-bit installer. So as you can see, I'm downloading it now. It takes, wow, okay, less than a minute. So now we have the installer. So, and once you download it, you can just show in the folder and also just run the exe. So let's see, I just go to show in folder, and in fact I have installed earlier version, and which is this one, Anaconda 64 exe. So now we could simply run this guy. So you just double click it, and you simply follow the instruction. So you come here and you choose next, and you have to agree the agreement, otherwise it won't let you to continue. Now there's two choices. One is install Python only for yourself or for everyone on the machine. I choose this for all user. Most of the time your PC or your machine is only used by you yourself. So I find out that this is actually easier. So the installation location by default will be on the C program data and Anaconda 3. So and you just pick the default choice, and it runs pretty fast, and it takes maybe 2 to 3 minutes to complete the installations. So it does take a little longer than 2 minutes or 3 minutes. It takes almost like 10 minutes. So it depends on your machine. But in any case, this is completely done. Setup was complete successfully. So you just click next, and then you said you finish. So now, if you go to the website here, you see there are getting started tutorial. You should watch the tutorial, and also they give you a quick starting guide. So instead of going through those tutorial ourselves, I will show you the way how I would do it as quickly as possible again. So what you do is you type cmd. So what it does is to bring up a command prompt, and we want to have a working directory where you store all your project file. So let's example. We want to create directory called work. So I do a mkdir. So you just create a directory. And now in order to run the Python, there's one command you need to type first. It's called activate. And once you type activate, it will set up all the proper environment for your Python. So now you are there, and you can type Python, and it will bring up a so-called command prompt, as you can see, Python 3.8.5, and you can do stuff using these command prompt, like printing 3 plus 4. So you can write Python or run Python like this, but this is not what we would love to do. Instead, we would start something called a Jupyter notebook. So you type Jupyter and you type the word notebook. Now what this does is to start off a so-called Jupyter notebook server. And then to access the notebook front end, you will need to go to a link called localhost. It actually will start your browser automatically for you. But this brings up to Microsoft Edge, and let's say I prefer Zoom better, so I'm going to just close this browser, and instead I look at the link through here. So I do localhost, and the port number is 8888. Now you can see there is nothing in here, right? So what you could do is now you can start a Python 3 notebook. So this is like a playground where you can play around with different Python command. And later on, in other series of the video, I'm going to show you how to do data science and also some computational finance. So, and Jupyter Notebook is one of the most intuitive front end, and also you can show people what you can do with your data science project. So first you create this notebook, and then let's say you make a name, right? You maybe let's say we call it my first notebook, and you rename it, and then there you go. So this is my first notebook. Now as just show you, you could do like Python command print 3 plus 4, right? And then you run it, and then it give you back the result. And you could create variable, say my name, right? And then is, let's say I'm Eric, and you create this from my name, Eric. And you can create a numerical variable. Let's say the x is 3, right? And then you can say y is x times x, 3 squared, right? Now you could simply print what is x, what is y, and you can see it's 3 and 9. And for tags, you can say like whenever people introduce you to a new programming language, right? They show you the Hello World program. So here we go. We say Hello World, and of course you can just print it, right? Or you can say how are you today, and then you want to put a name, Eric, right? So the way to do it is that now you put it my name. So how are you today, Eric? So this is what the result would look like, right? So there you go. So this is my first notebook. Now you could always bring back your notebook after you close it. Next time you reboot your machine, and if you want to open it again, you follow the same procedure. You open up a command prompt, type activate, and then you type Jupyter Notebook, right? Now I want to show you what the file look like. So under the C drive, as you can see, I have a lot of other different stuff. And if you go to work, right, you see, this is my first notebook. There is a file created, 2 KB, and the size, the extension of the file is IPYNB, IPython notebook. So there you go. So if you go back to here, you see your first notebook. Then of course you could create another notebook, and you can name it something else. My second notebook, or my data science project, right? And then of course you could do anything you want. And then one of the library we will show that we will be using again is called pandas. So you can do import the library, and we give it a name, alias, just so it will be easier to refer to. So now we have two notebooks, my data science project and my first notebook. So okay, so I hope I have shown you in less than 10 minutes what you can do to kickstart and prepare your environment, Python environment, for exploring data science and also computational finance. I will see you next time.